I did it again. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. I do in fact have another book haul. We are moving in the wrong direction already. So my physical TBR number for the end of 2023 was 266 books. That was like what we were gonna start with, right? I like filmed my physical TBR video, I filmed my book haul, and then I got more books. So we're gonna do another book haul. A couple of these are still Christmas gifts that came in late, or another gift that I got. Some of these are special editions. This was definitely the month of special editions and the pre-order, the beautiful covers that got me. And then there's just a couple of other things in here. So when I filmed my physical TBR, I did that the day after Christmas, meaning that we were still dead center in the middle of the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale, and I did go back one more time after that, so a couple of those books are in here. It's fine, let's talk about it. So 266 was my number. I read 9 books off of my physical shelf in January, which is really a good number for me, but unfortunately I am bringing in more than that, so we're actually going to go up. I'm not going to do it in January, but I think, I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of grace because there are some gifts in here, but I think going forward, if I go up in my number, like in books hauled versus books read, I have to unhaul something just to at least keep it even. That way we don't go up. But let's start with some special editions and book boxes because I got some really pretty books in this past month. So I did order the special editions of Ninth House and Hellbent. They have the black and red sprayed edges. I think these are absolutely gorgeous. And I had a mismatched set of these because I had the paperback version of Ninth House, which I love and I'm still gonna keep because it's tabbed. But I had the hardcover red Hellbent that I didn't necessarily like. So I think I'm just gonna swap them out and just keep these, and I'll put the hardcover of Hellbent up on Pango. They're so pretty, and I think because I do want to go back and annotate Hellbent and like reread it, specifically when the next book comes out, I'll probably do it again for both of these. So I think it would be really cool to tab and annotate these books with that beautiful sprayed edge. It's these two, but I've read them, so those aren't going on the TBR. Then a pre-order that I got was The Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher. Like, look at this. This is one of Red Tower's books, so it is like really, really pretty first edition. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing great things about this on TikTok. I haven't seen anybody review it on YouTube, but like it's so pretty. The end pages, gorgeous. So I was, you know, I am the target audience of the pretty covers. It's fine. Also, this has like a dark circus. Enter at your own risk and discover the greatest show unearthed is in this explosive, darkly imaginative debut fantasy. I think it's got a romance in it. I don't know. It's very short, and I'm excited about it, even though I haven't heard great things, but I'm still gonna read it. But that one is adding to the TBR. Then, in a Facebook group. Okay, I don't buy a lot from Facebook, like from their like Facebook swap groups anymore, because I have Pango now, but I found these, and I don't think this person knew what they had, because I paid $20 or $25 for them. Something like that. I found the bookish boxes of Neon Gods and Electric Idol by Katie Robert. They're so gorgeous. They have this like neon kind of aspect to it. The pages also have the sprayed edges. It has a quote on the back. Haven't even looked at the hardcover. Oh, it's so pretty. It's not showing up on camera. There we go, maybe a little bit. These are just so gorgeous. Like, I wasn't planning on buying these. This isn't necessarily like, I love this series for sure, but it wasn't something that like I needed these special editions for. But for $20, they didn't know what they had. These are not adding to the TBR because I already own those, or already read those. And then I also pre-ordered Gothicana by Rue Nix. I have heard really mixed things about this, but again, I was swayed by the purple sprayed edges, the absolutely gorgeous interior. I think this is a really dark reimagining of Beauty and the Beast, I believe. And like I said, I've heard very mixed things about this book, but it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. We will see. I feel like I'm gonna read this during spooky season. This feels like a spooky season read. And then I'm not gonna be talking to you about my book of the month box. 2 of the titles were a St. Martin's Press title, so I'm not talking about those on my channel. And the other one I actually read and then unhauled, so I don't even have that one anymore. But I do have my aardvark box. So I got Where You End by Abbot Collar. This is just like such a spooky, terrifying cover. And this is a horror, like a family horror. When 22-year-old Kat Bird wakes up from a coma, she sees her mirror image, Jude, or her twin sister. Kat remembers nothing except Jude's face and name. As Kat tries to relearn her history and identity, she trusts Jude will provide all of the answers. But as the month progresses, Kat begins to fear that maybe Jude has been lying to her. That sounds terrifying and eerie and creepy. Here for that. And then I got their Aardvark book of the year, which was Chang Allstars. So this one is actually signed and then has this like really cool foiling to it because it was their book of the year. I love that they're doing this. I feel like this was a much better quality of book of the year than book of the month had. In fact, I don't even know what book of the year is this month. I don't know. I am getting less and less interested in book of the month as we go along. I actually like skipped February's box, so I won't even be getting one for that. But this is a very like light sci-fi book about like kind of a commentary on the prison system, and I don't know, I've heard really good things about it. All right, now the books that I just have no rhyme or reason as to why I have them. I mean, I have like ideas for projects, but I don't necessarily like, they're not currently, you know, in progress. I did find A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone. This is one of her other series, and after loving Priest so much, I want to read this one. I think this is might be the only series I haven't started, at least started from her. And then when I was buying this one, like they were doing a sale where if you like spent $5 more, then you would get like free shipping. And so they had this book that's You Had Your Chance, Lee Burrows by Piper Rain, and Super Bowl weekend I'm planning on reading some football romances. So I was like, oh, okay, this works. So I added this one to the TBR, but it'll be coming off very quickly, like next weekend. I picked up Cassandra in Reverse by Holly Smalley. This I think is very similar to Una Out of Order, which I really loved and enjoyed. If you had the power to change your past, would you? Cassandra Penelope Danworth is a creature of habit. She likes what she likes and strongly dislikes what she doesn't. Her life runs in a pleasing, predictable order until now. She's just been dumped. She's just been fired. Her local cafe has run out of banana muffins. Then something truly unexpected happens. Cassie discovers that she can go back and change the past. So I don't want to read any farther down on that synopsis, but it sounds really interesting. And then I found The Girl in the Mountain by Mark Lawrence. This is a book that the Backlist Book Club is reading. I only gave the first one 3.5 stars, but I am curious about this world and I'm interested in the rest of the series. So I found this one really cheap. Margaret over at The Word Nerd gifted me Savage City by Elle Penelope. This is an author that's going to be at a Polycon, so I really want to read this before April. The cover sounds fascinating, and it says, for Talia, death is only the beginning of survival. This is definitely more of a like political fantasy romance, and it also has like immortals, I think. When a tragic accident cuts my lonely life short, instead of heaven or hell, I'm stolen away to a terrifying city of warring shifter clans, the Namali and the Fae. But anyways, it kind of sounds like an enemies to lovers kind of scenario happening here. Very interested about this one. The other 4 books that I got from the Barnes & Noble like 50% off sale: City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaefer. This is Been Blurred by Zoran J. Chow, and I trust them with my entire life. So I don't know what this is going to be. Welcome to Newham, where nightmares become reality. Sounds dark and fascinating. And then I found Path of Vengeance by Kevin Scott. This is the second book in the Star Wars High Republic series, where like the Force is kind of a religion to some people, and that sounds like it's such an interesting concept of like taking this like outside look at the Star Wars world, not necessarily following the like key players that are in the movies. I really loved Path of Deceit. I gave it 4.5 stars. So this is a different author, like there are different authors writing in this world, and so I don't know, I'm just very interested in this concept. So don't know when I'm gonna read this, but we'll see. All right, I thought I was gonna be able to get away with finishing this video before my battery died, but alas, it did not happen. So the angle may have changed. But I have A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. Here's the thing. I love some of T. Kingfisher's work, and then I don't necessarily like some of her other stuff. But I'm always willing to give her a try. I think this is like a gothic horror about like this haunted house, and I really liked What Moves the Dead. And so I'm really hopeful that this kind of is that same vibe. We'll see. This is likely a book that I'll read during Ramadan because it's short, so it'll be a really good Peace Talks weekend book. Then we have Their Vicious Games by Joelle Wellington. And everybody was talking about this book at the end of the year, and so then when I saw it like as 50% off, I was like, okay, we're gonna give it a shot. This is like Squid Games meets The Bachelor, and that's the weirdest combination of shows that you could put into a comp title for a book. book, so I am intrigued. You must work twice as hard to get half as much. Intrigued by this. Don't know when I'll be reading it or what I'll be doing it for. And then I got Leech by Huron Enes. So this is actually a funny story. I was going to read this one for Books and Lala's like favorite book. She had this one and Monstrilio. And I found this book very, very cheap on Pango. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. But then it was really, really long. And I was like, oh, I don't know if it's like the right vibe for this like video that I was doing. So then I switched to Monstrilio. But I'm still very much interested in this one because it's a sci-fi like medical thriller or medical horror, and I'm very intrigued by this. This is essentially like, I think she's like essentially making like zombie doctors. For hundreds of years, the improvincial can't speak today, it's fine. Medical Institute has grown by taking root in young minds and shaping them into doctors, replacing every human practitioner of medicine. The Institute is here to help humanity, to cure, to cut, to cradle, to protect the species from the apocalyptic horrors their ancestors unleashed. Sounds really interesting, but I just heard it was slower, and so it just wasn't the right vibe for that video project, but I am going to be reading this at some point. And then I also got to The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. I actually got this one from Rye over at Rye's Reading Corner. And so this is like an apocalyptic cult book. No one speaks of the Grace Year. It's forbidden. In Garner County, they are told they have the power to lure grown men from their beds, to drive women mad with jealousy. They believe their very skin emits a powerful aphrodisiac, the potent essence of youth of a girl on the edge of womanhood. That's why they're banished for their 16th year, to release their magic into the wild so they can return purified and ready for marriage. I love cult books. Like, I'm obsessed with them. Do they all turn out great? No, but I'm just obsessed with the concept. So very excited about this one. All right, so that's adding 15 books onto the TBR. So that puts us up to 272 books. So we're not going above that. We have to be lower than that at the end of February. But I have some ideas for it. I'm doing a couple of I'm doing the Rainbow Project. I'm doing the Unhaul Project, starts up in February again. So I have a lot of projects names. It's fine. Let me know if there's a book on here that you really want me to read or that you're excited to see my thoughts on. But that's all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!